Good evening for taking. It's great that you have taken your valuable time and attended the session. And so, as you have seen, I shared the screen, and I believe you are aware of the topic what we are going to talk today. So, we are going to share about something called uh, the sleep, which I believe you understand the importance of sleep today, uh, and that's the reason you have joined this session. Keeping that in mind, I'll be sharing more details about that. So the session will be, I'm looking forward to complete the session within 30 minutes so that you guys can sleep in time. I don't want to disturb your sleep. That's the reason I kept it only for 30 minutes. And what I understand is that these 30 minutes will be very condensed. Be focused, be here. You will have multiple things in your hand. You have mobile which can take you anywhere in the world, but be available in this session for just for 30 minutes. And I'm sure the content what I'm sharing here will surely help you to make some positive decisions, and it will help you to becoming a healthier version of yourselves. So once again, thank you everyone for joining, and I'll just share the screen and we'll talk one by one. I believe all of you are aware about who I am. I am a health coach by profession, and I work for a large corporate. Along with that, I take care of, not take care of, I am passionate about sharing health content with everyone because I believe health is something which is very essential for each and every person. Not only essential, I'll say, it is something which can make and break your life at any point of life. If you consider health as an investment and dedicate your time and effort towards it, you will have a much better quality of life. Today, especially in a world where we stay, where everything is about productivity and everything is about creating results, somewhere health is very much compromised. I know it's not a individual's problem, it is a social problem where we do not take out the time to prioritize for health. So my whole mission or the vision what I've given is that to create a health awareness and making health as simplified for as possible. Health is not complicated unless until you mentally don't make it complicated, or you are following somebody who makes it very complicated, or if it is making a lot of fear in your life. It is not fearful, it is not complicated, it is very simple, provided you understand few basic things and you prioritize your health completely. So having said that, I'll share the screen. What is sleep? Now, if I say what is sleep, generally the answer which comes is that it's a moment of rest for us. Now that's perfectly fine to just to give you a start with. But if it is only rest, then at times we may think that rest is not so necessary. But the point is here is that the rest, it is not only rest, it is much more bigger than the rest part. Once you understand that part, you will prioritize your sleep. Especially in a world where we are still staying, everything is about creating productivity. We have a nation where the prime minister sleeps 4 hours. This is what I've read in an article. I really don't know how many hours he sleeps. And a lot of articles coming out, people saying that one day, anyway, we are going to die and we'll sleep. So why to waste time sleeping now? Why don't we do some other work? The actual fact is that if you don't sleep now, your day of final sleep will come very soon. So you don't have to wait much for that. So it's very important that you prioritize your sleep. Otherwise, may you rest in peace will be soon told to you. So how critical is that? That's the importance of sleep. In sleep, there are different modes of sleep. I'll tell you just to give you a little background. I'll not go into a lot of scientific part of it because that will make it complicated. There is something called REM sleep and there's non-REM sleep. REM sleep is rapid eye movement, where the eye basically flickers completely, and that's the moment where you have dreams and things like that. And then there is non-REM moments also, where you get into a deep sleep, and there are different cycles. A cycle is approximately 90 minutes, and throughout the night, sometime one part of the sleep you are very deep sleeping, at some point you are dreaming and different things happens. So this sleep thing is a very big structured and very programmed thing which the creator has made for us to, so that we can follow it and we can stay healthy. Now, if you see how it is important, how to improve the value of the sleep, let me add one more thing. As we if you look into the evolutionary part of us, like we were, let's say we came from the apes and we kept evolving ourselves. We learned a lot of skills. Our body changed. Our body, there are parts in our body which was not useful. They went out because of the evolution. Our body structure changed. But along the way, the sleep never compromised. Sleep was there 5,000 years back also. Today also sleep is there. That simply says sleep is very critical and very vital part of our life, which need to be emphasized. So it's not only about rest, but it is much more than, which gives your body complete rejuvenation, I'll say. Or else, if you say OS update every night, you get your mobile OS update doesn't come every night, but our OS update happens every night. So that critical it is. It has to be updated every night so that you can stay healthy continuously. Having said that, the next point is how much should I sleep? Now, obviously, there is a variable answer. It depends person to person, what is their health condition, what is their life cycle, what age they are into. If you see babies sleep for, let's say, about 15, 16 hours, they sleep, or more than that also. And as the baby grows, their sleep hour reduces, and accordingly, a teenager sleeps more because of the hormonal things. And these all things, as you becomes adult, your sleep changes. But in average for an adult, it's 6 to 8 hours is a good time period to sleep. Now, then the question comes, what is the time when should I sleep? Should I sleep at 9 o'clock? Should I sleep at 11? Or should I sleep after 12? What is the right? There is no right and wrong for this, because this is the three categories of people. One category of people is that who sleep early, like 9:30, 9:30, they are on the bed, they don't have energy after that. That's fine. Their body type is made in such a way they can sleep at 9:30. But there are people who can sleep only after 12. Anything wrong in that? No. Their body type has been made in that way. That's perfectly fine. And they have also cultivated a habit. That's perfectly fine with that. Now, there are people who sleep at 11, also 10:30, 11. That's somewhere in the mid between. All these categories perfectly fine. The only thing to be kept in note here is that the person who sleeps at 9:30 or 10 o'clock, he can surely get up by 5 or 6 in the morning. The person who sleeps at 11, he can get up by 6 in the morning. But the person who sleeps at after 12 or 1, if he gets up at 5 or 6, then he's depriving himself of a big section of sleep. I think I made my point very clear. If you're sleeping late, then wake up also late. If your profession allows you in such a way that you can sleep late in the morning also, then it is fine. Nothing wrong in that. But still, I would say if it is better, if you can see somewhere in between, rather than going after 12, it's always better to stay in between if possible. If your profession, if your lifestyle allows it, you should do that. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong in that segment also. You can stay in that. But make sure that you sleep at least 6 to 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours in an average you sleep. That's a good amount of sleep you can. Then comes, why should you sleep? Now, you just go back in your what do you say, your past days when someday you couldn't sleep properly. आप सोना चाहते थे लेकिन सो नहीं पाया रात को किसी कारण से. It happened कि आप सो नहीं सक पाए. That happens. Sometimes you, because some big stressful work is there, some business work is there, some job work is there, you're not able to sleep. Now, what happens the next day? Are you completely focused in the next day? Doesn't your craving for sleep increase? Somehow I should sleep. Isn't the craving for food increases? Everything, you will be completely disturbed. You will be like a bomb, Anybody puts little bit spark on you, you will blast off. Anger will come out very easily. So these all symptoms we have seen. That's because our body needed that sleep. Like I told earlier also, sleep is so critical. Like when you sleep, our mind has got this system of arranging the data properly. If you see our body's complete energy, the brain almost takes 20% of the energy. It consumes that energy to process all the content. Today, the amount of content what we have is like some article I was reading. The people in their 1980s, the content these people used to take in a whole year, that much information and content we are consuming every single day. Let it be profession, let it be social media, let it be anything around. We have a lot of information coming around. Now, how does the brain segregate it? There should be some way it should be segregated. This segregation generally normally happens at night when you sleep. There is short-term memory, that's the RAM of a computer, if you say. short-term memory, which is essential for us to do the active job for the day, which we are working into something. We should remember what we are doing, what we are not doing, or we have some meeting commitments are kept. We should remember that. These all things are the memory we use at that. There's a part of the brain which stores that, the hippocampus of the brain stores those memories. That's the short-term memory. Now at night, this memory which is stored in the short term has to be transferred to the long-term memory storage. So there is an indexing system which it follows. There's a certain network of neurons followed, and it is stored in such a way. Tomorrow, if you want to retrieve that, you will be able to retrieve it. And that's a very essential activity which functions very well when you are actively taking a proper rest. Okay. So these are the few things which is just to give you an understanding about the importance of sleep. Now, as a topic today I shared is that impact of sleep on our body. So to understand that, there are a lot of studies done. So I'm just sharing certain clips of certain studies which was done in last 1 or 2 decades, where different people were given certain conditions and they were monitored. If their sleep is reduced, how it is going to impact their body. So these all things are there online. You can go and do your own research in your own time. You can go there and study each and every article, and at your own time you can do that. Okay. Now to give you a summary of that, I'll just give you one part of it, how it is impacting our health. This graph, what you're seeing here, it is the leptin hormone working. When the sleep is deprived, the leptin hormone goes down. The quantity of leptin hormone which is secreted goes down. What leptin hormone does is that it gives you satiety. It gives you a feeling of fullness. Once this hormone is impaired, the hunger, we don't feel full. And when we don't feel full, we keep eating. The craving increases. That is one thing. That's in this way, other hormones, cortisols, adrenaline, as well as ghrelin hormone, all this survey was done. And I just showed you one of them. And one output which I would like to share here with you is that there was a study done in US where about 80 to 100 people were kept in a control system where one group was told, the group A was told, you will sleep less than the normal hour. Let's say you are sleeping for 7 hours, you sleep 1.5 hours less. And there was another group which was told that you will sleep 1.5 hours more. After giving them, this was done for a month or two, they followed it up. What they realized is that the people who were sleeping 1.5 hours less, they ate about 115 calories more as compared to the people who slept normally. And the people who slept more, they consumed less calorie. One reason is that if you are sleeping, obviously you will not eat. So that period of calorie reduction has already happened. Other than also your cravings are reduced. So if you see if a person is sleeping less and if he's sleeping more, if you see almost like more than 200, 250 calories per day consumption is reduced if you are sleeping properly, because you are able to control your hormones and your metabolic system improves in this way. So in a long run, if you say a person, if he is able to average 500 calories, if he is able to reduce in a week, he reduces almost like 0.5 kg of weight. In that way, if you see, it becomes a bigger number, and that is one of the reasons why people accumulate fat in their body. Okay, so just to give you an idea that there are a lot of studies, this information what I'm sharing, it's not that I have generated. It is something which is already available. Just I am comprised and compiled it for your understanding. Now, let's understand the first thing here is called a circadian rhythm. If you have not heard of circadian rhythm, there's a lot of content again on net. I'll just give you a little brief. It is the internal clock what our body has got. In nature, if you see, everything works in rhythm. There's a time when the sun comes up, there's a time when the sun goes down, and there's a complete rhythm in that. There's a time when the season comes, when the flowers in the environment, in the nature runs in a complete rhythm. If you observe, everything works in a rhythm. Same way, our body has to also function in a rhythm. And this circadian rhythm is the clock which ensures that our body functions in a right way. If it is functioning properly, we will be able to do our day-to-day activities perfectly fine. In the daytime, when we are supposed to be productive and work efficiently, we'll work that. At night, we sleep in time, our body gets a proper rest and recovery from all the inflammations and a lot of things which has gone in our body, settles everything. Those all things are done perfectly if the circadian rhythm works normally. But the challenge is that today we have become so smart that we know how to disturb the circadian rhythm. especially after invention of electricity, it is not a problem for us to be awake at night. And today we have got mobile and gadgets in our hands, so we can keep disturbing our circadian rhythm. So once you disturb that circadian rhythm, then our biological clock gets disturbed and every hormone secretion, everything in our body gets disturbed. To give you an example of what I'm talking is that let's take an example that you woke up at morning 6 o'clock, and that's the circadian rhythm as your clock is set. And by about 10 in the night, you should start feeling sleepy because the body's clock is working properly, and you're feeling sleepy. The body starts creating the melatonin hormone, which is the sleep hormone. It starts coming into your blood, and you're started to feel sleepy. At the same time, you decide to watch a movie or some series you're watching, just started, and that you know that when you start a movie or a series or something, there will be a lot of excitement in that. So now you got excited, and there's a lot of excitement. Maybe some fear is coming in that, showing those all emotions. What is coming on the screen is coming on your body also. So when your body gets those emotions, it will start reacting accordingly. It will react in such a way that, let's say there is excitement, so adrenaline is given into our body, and let's say there is a fear or something, the cortisols are created, stress is created. What this hormone does is that they gives the body instruction to put out and glucose into the blood. That means your energy levels are gone, and your melatonin hormone, which is going to make you sleep, is completely stopped. Now the situation is such that your energy levels are high and you won't feel sleepy. You will be awake till the time you are watching the movie, and after that also you may not feel sleepy soon. Why? Because your blood is already filled with glucose and energy. Now the insulin comes into place. I'll talk about the hormone in the next part, but just to give you an overview, and there's another process going on to keep the glucose back, and it goes into our fat settlement and things like that. I don't want to go more detail, but just understand that just because you disturb that sleep time of your body, your whole cycle gets disturbed. That is the understanding what it is. So whatever you do, whatever routine you follow, if you can follow to the T, best. If not, little bit up and down once in a while, fine. But you should have a rhythm of your life. Now, having disturbed that, what is the next thing what you have to manage is the hormonal imbalance. Now, the fat accumulation part comes because of the hormonal imbalance. You may think that I work out regularly, I don't eat too much of food. That is something most of my clients say. I eat very less, but still I am putting on fats on my body. Hormonal imbalance. With age, certain hormones change. Our body is changing. As we are teenagers, and let's say you have 35, 40 years, your hormonal changes already started taking place. Over that, you are disturbed your circadian rhythm also, then it becomes more. Now, what are the hormones which will disturb you, gets disturbed because of your sleep? As I told you, if you don't sleep properly, a stress hormone, cortisol, is pumped into your blood. And as soon as that comes in place, it removes all the glucose possible in the body to get your body ready for a next fight. It is basically a hormone which is created for our good. If you look into evolutionary part, let's say our ancestors thousands of years back, they were staying in the jungle or something. At that time, if let's say they are going to sleep, and in the case they suddenly see an animal. Now at that time, this hormone is supposed to give you all the energy for that person to save his life. So it pumps all the glucose into the blood so that you have an instant energy to run, fight, anything to do. But now here the situation is not an animal or any dangerous animal in front of you. But here the stress is because of the what you're watching on the TV, or some thoughts in your mind going, my work is not my work. There's a lot of stress. My family relationship, there's stress. Some issue going on. That may be the stress here. But the body doesn't understand that. Body understand, yes, this is a health issue. The cortisols just comes out showing thinking that it is a stressful situation and you're supposed to do something physically to move. But the inside, what happens? The glucose comes into the blood, and after some time, you're not going to use it. The glucose stays in the blood. Now, once glucose is in the blood, then the next hormone has to come into place. What's the next hormone? Insulin. And I'm sure you have heard of insulin now a lot. India is becoming a diabetic capital. Every third person has got diabetes. Again, sleep also plays a big role here. Yeah, what happens? The insulin comes into the blood, What the role of insulin is to remove all the glucose and put it back into the cells, and it will put into fat cells. Now the energy was supposed to be used. It did not get used. So, but somewhere it has to put that energy back. So it puts into your cells, fat cells, and especially at your abdomen. That's the reason you have a little bit of belly as your body gets disturbed. So this insulin puts the hormones back. And another thing is that insulin resistance starts, because if it happens again and again, the resistance of insulin starts, and that's the starting point of becoming diabetic. And slowly, as you continue to sure. Yeah. As you continue to do the same routine again every night, you're getting disturbed and you're not sleeping properly, 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep or something like that. Then every time the cortisol comes into place, and you're again the insulin comes, and this fat accumulation keeps increasing. Insulin is a great hormone for the body. It's very essential, provided it's monitored in the right way. It is disturbed only because of habits. Whenever insulin is in the blood, your fat burning completely stops. Body understands that already glucose is in the blood, that can be used as energy. Why should I go and tap it from my reserve of fats? It doesn't have to tap. That's the reason fat stays there only, and you keep accumulating. Now, then there's an hormone called, which I already told, a leptin hormone, which I showed you the graph how the leptin hormone goes down when you don't sleep. Leptin hormone gives you satiety, makes you feel full. But when your leptin hormone is down, you will not feel full. One day you do not sleep, and next day morning you'll have a lot of craving. Craving, why? Because you're not feeling full. And when you have a craving, just think about it. Whenever you have a craving, do you feel to like eat protein-rich food? Obviously not, right? Do you feel to have a lot of more fibrous food? Again, not. What do you feel to eat? You feel to have very highly sugarated food, some chocolates, some pastries, some processed food. You feel to have some chips or something of that. An apple will not make you happy. A pack of chips will make you more happy. That's the way it is, because body wants a lot of glucose or a lot of sugarated things at that time. That's the craving what we have. The next hormone which I'm going to ghrelin. This is a hormone which will decide your hunger. Basically, it will leptin is hunger, which keeps the satiety, gives you feeling of full. Ghrelin is hormone which makes you feel hungry, in a sense that yes, this is the time when you're supposed to eat food. That communication. These both hormones are disturbed. When these both hormones are disturbed, your whole craving and your metabolic process, everything gets disturbed, and indirectly you eat more, and your fat storage increases multifold. So these there are other things also which comes in place, but that will be too much complicated to share today. But for the time you understand that because of this hormonal imbalance happening, your willpower will not come in place. Sometimes you may think, yeah, I want to do everything good, but I don't have the willpower to control my craving. It may not be willpower issue. It may be issue that you're not taking care of your circadian rhythm properly. You're not sleeping in time. Your behavioral changes has to happen. Then your hormonal changes will happen. Accordingly, you will be able to control yourself better. When your hormones are working, functioning better, you will not have such cravings. That's for sure. So work on your sleep. If that is something which is challenging, it will surely help you to make changes. Let's go to the next part. That's the solution part. So what are the solutions? First step is that have a consistent sleep routine. Very simple. When you let's say you sleep every day at 11 o'clock, sleep every day at 11 o'clock itself. Don't keep changing the time. One day you are sleeping at 9 o'clock, next day 11, next day 12. The more you change, the body does not understand the rhythm. As I told you, everything in the nature is systematic. Our body's circadian rhythm also gets disturbed when you don't give it a right habit. Sleeping is a habit which has to, let's say you have a habit of sleeping late. It can be brought earlier also. If you, rather than just suddenly stopping, and let's say you sleep at 1 o'clock, making it 11 o'clock or 9 o'clock may not be possible right now. But in place of 1 o'clock, you can sleep at least by 12:30 or 12:45. For a few weeks, you can sleep in that way. And gradually you can change that. It happens. To some extent, it is possible even when you have a nature of sleeping late. That is possible. But whatever you follow it as per a routine. Keep it a schedule. This timing I sleep in this timing. No excuse for that. Do not let anything on this earth let you compromise on your sleep. give priority to your sleep. It's very important. As you, it's a priority to eat healthy, as it is priority to sleep, sorry, I mean exercise regularly. Sleeping in proper time is also a priority which has to be given. Do not compromise on your sleep. Some once in a while is fine, but not always. Next, relax relax yourself a bit before you go to bed. Otherwise, see, let's say till the last moment of your bed, if you have been surfing on net and doing some work online, or you're putting a lot of content into your mind, when you lie on the bed also, those all things will keep coming in your mind, so you can't calm down. If you can at least sleep an hour before you can stop your screen time, it will be great. You will not put a lot of content in your mind to process at that time. You heard some, let's say just before sleep, you are going to watch a news, and you know news what comes, all sort of negative things, good things comes very less. And after listening to that news, as soon as you go to bed, you will have all those news repeating in your mind, and you will not be able to sleep comfortably. Even if you sleep, you will have a disturbed sleep. So at least 1 hour before, if you can meditate, read a book, something which can calm you down, whatever is your practice, do something by which you calm down. Have a food little early, if at least 2 to 3 hours before your bed, if you can have food, it will be great. Again, that's good for your gut, good for health. Before the sunset, you should be eating food. That's what is so told by all gut specialists. But if it is not practically possible, at least 2 hours before your bed, eat, and make it a completely relaxing routine. Next is optimize your sleep, where in your bedroom, do not keep a TV. If you have a TV in your room, please remove it. You're not going to sleep. Make your bedroom very specifically for sleep purpose itself. That's a place where you can sleep. Keep a cool climate. If you've got AC, great, fan, whatever is that, make it cool environment. Make your bed proper. Keep your bed area clean and tidy. Keep it a very special place where you can just go and sleep properly and have a wonderful sleep. This is a complete your choices what you make. If you make choices and make some changes, then only it will happen. It is not going to happen automatically. So if you follow these three things, I'm sure your sleep can improve, and I'm 100% sure that your weight reductions will happen, because I have seen people losing weight when they could work on their sleep. There are I have clients who couldn't, they are not sleeping in time, and as soon as we could work on the sleep, I could see a change in their, we could see a change in their weight. That's the reason I'm saying so confidently that if you sleep properly, you will become much more healthy, and as you become healthier about yourself, healthier, so your weight loss will become a byproduct. Okay. So that's the main point. Thank you so much for joining. Please follow me on the social media, Healthy Binu, at Instagram as well as YouTube, wherever is the content. And thank you so